Well, we kind of sort of stumbled into it by accident, I guess. I mean, both Jess and I cover a lot of Olympic sports. So when the first reports came through that an Australian Winter Olympian had fallen to their death in Moscow, I mean, we thought it would be a massive story. I guess we're a little surprised that it wasn't. So, we almost felt like we had an obligation to find out what had happened and try to tell her story. So our starting point on this story was very different.
I think it's when we started interviewing those really close to Katia, and those people were Harley Windsor, and then later on Galina Patchen, one of her former coaches, and then after that it was Belinda Noonan. And I think Belinda Noonan was so sort of integral to this story because she really knew Katia. We were calling, people around the world. It wasn't just those three people I just mentioned then, but we were making a number of phone calls to really get a good idea of what exactly had happened, and what we uncovered was a really, really tragic story.
We had a fair bit of pushback along the way. A lot of people just refused to talk to us. We were threatened with court action, but the whistleblowers who did work with us were, they copped it even worse. The difference for them is, they're on the inside. So for them to come and sort of tell the truth, they had to sort of break through that code of silence. So, it really took a lot of courage for them to do that. As journalists, you invest a lot of time and emotion in these type of stories. And you never kind of really know how they're going to be received. So we were really blown away by the response that this has had, not just from the reforms that were introduced by the government and the Australian Olympic Committee, but also things like recognition by Sport Australia, which for us is really, really humbling. All of the finalists, were fantastic and deserve full credit for everything that they've done, and also everyone at Sport Australia for supporting our industry at a time when we really need support. So thank you for that. And I guess, we also had a lot of people who did help us. Figure skating isn't exactly mainstream news, especially in the middle of footy season. But both, people at the Australian and the Telegraph, like Chris Dorey and Claire Harvey and Michelle Gunn at the Oz, Mick Carroll, Tim Morrissey, James Silver at the Telegraph. Not only did they give us the time to pursue a story, which is not the sort of story we would normally have, but they also stuck it on the front page, which was great for us because it attracted more eyeballs and more people got to read about this story, not just sports people. And that, at the end of the day, helped force the changes that came about because of it.